Stairs. I just asked the last person to please close the door behind us.
That one whistle blast indicate that we are officially underway and our course is apparent. We will be proceeding downstream. For the most part, as we head downstream, we will point out most of the things to our left of port side. Once we turn around and proceed back upstream, we will point out most of the things to our right or starboard side. So if you're particularly interested in the narration, we suggest you sit on the left side of the boat. Here in New Orleans, we average 400 ships per month and over 90,000 voyages per year. The principal import for the port of New Orleans is steel, and most of that steel brought in from Japan and Korea. Army terminal. This is where all the Army equipment was brought to. It's called the Pullman Street. And next to our left, you'll see two very interesting ships, the Cape Knox and the Cape Kennedy. Now they are known as ro-ro ships. They are roll-on, roll-off, containerized cargo vessels, and they're part of the United States Ready Reserve Fleet. And trucks can actually drive into the back of the ship to load and unload containers and various cargo. And for all general purposes, the back of the ship is called the stern, the front is called the bow, the right side, the starboard side, the left side known as the port side. This is a fully loaded tanker, and as you head up, you will see several flags flying on her. Above and to the right of the pilot house, there's an American flag to this country. Above and to the left of the pilot house, you notice a solid red flag flying. Years ago, most of the homes on our left had anywhere from 10 to 12 feet of water inside them. Buried inside the lower ninth floor, the homes were totally destroyed, knocked down off their foundation. Total devastation happened here during Hurricane Katrina, now passing the lower ninth ward of New Orleans. The top of the homes resemble the pilot houses of old steamboats that tramped the river many years ago. Thus, they're called steamboat homes to our left. If you look down the river to our right, you notice several ships sitting out in the middle. So I was pushing a couple of empty, what is called tank barges. Right in hazardous cargo. Next to our left, the Alamo Street Wharf, one of many cargo docks in the port. This has been a very busy dock the past several months here that are in Anchorage. Just like we have taxi cab services in the streets of our city, We also have taxi boat services out here on the river. There are taxi boats to our left. Commandant's quarters. The building to the right, the commissary. The building to the left, the supply depot. Prior to Hurricane Katrina, the homes was being used to house the Louisiana National Guards. The Jackson Barracks also suffered quite a bit of damage during Hurricane Katrina. They're now undergoing major renovations. The Jackson Barracks can only be seen from the river. National Guards have recently moved back into the Jackson Barracks here on our left. This is Jackson Barracks to our left side. We're now leaving the city of New Orleans and we are entering the town of Araby, Louisiana, the parish of St. Bernard. Here in the state of Louisiana, we have parishes rather than counties. We have 64 parishes throughout the state. The ship is registered out of Nassau, flag of the Bahamas flown near the stern and back portion. To our left is the Domino Sugar Refinery, the second largest sugar refinery in the world. The first one is in Brazil. And this one opened up in 1909. Here they produce 6,700,000 pounds of sugar per day in Louisiana. Each barge, when fully loaded, most of them are loaded with scrap metal to our left, and each one, when fully loaded, is equivalent to 26 full-size railroad cars of cargo. So that's why it's much cheaper to ship by barge than it is by rail. That's because of all the barge traffic, some 90,000 barges per year passing through this port, and all the ship traffic, some 400 ships per month passing through, is why New Orleans is part of the largest port in the world. House American flag flown as a courtesy. There's also a red and white flag above our pilot house, which indicates to us that there is an American pilot aboard the ship. Getting onto the taxi boat, this is the River Pilot, just a general cargo freighter. This is where a lot of your natural gas comes from. A good percentage of the United States natural gas comes from the state of Louisiana. We are a very industrial state, and this is a mobile refinery. Again, they're burning surplus gas as they refine the crude oil. It was found that it decreases the wavewash of the ship, increases the speed of the ship, much like the smokestack. This is the Eagle flag. The solid red flag flying above the pilot house indicating she's handling a hazardous cargo. This is because she is a tanker, and whenever she handles such a cargo, it would display a red flag in the daytime and a red light at night. This is a Coast Guard regulation, so she's now flying. And we're making our first turn in the river, returning the natchets around and proceeding back upstream.
how to cook. Some of our stews or some of our gumbo came from Africa. Same buildings, and that was a very, very famous citizen of New Orleans called Michaela Almonaster de Pontalba.
Wow.
And you ask, oh, you know, how come notaries are not particularly wealthy? Well, if you're the notary for the King of Spain, you are, because everything had to go through him. Everything had to be stamped. So, and he was also a very good businessman. He owned all the area around the square here. And Michaela was his only heir, and at the age of 15, she married her second cousin, Celestin Montalvo. They went happily off to Paris, thinking they had a wonderful life. It wasn't so wonderful. She had a father-in-law from Paris. The father-in-law was wealthy, of course, but not anywhere near as wealthy as her. She came in, she said, oh, everything was such a mess. She just tore everything down, and she built these wonderful buildings, 16 row houses. That one was first, the one across the square, but it's the same one. And then a year later, she built this one.
How old are they?
1849 and 1850.
Okay.
That's why they call it the 1850 house.
Oh, yes. That makes sense.
Right.
Now, what the alligator's doing, obviously, is sunning himself. That's on those scoots. It's just a very efficient way for warming themselves up. Now, they use the scoots the opposite during the summertime. Guys, when it's 110 out here with 100% humidity, the alligators get hot too, even in the water. So what they do is they'll go find a nice deep spot in the river that's cool, and they'll go lay on the bottom for a while, cooling the air in those scoots. It's insulated, it's kept cool by the body fat, the blood runs over it. We got little turtles that run along like that. Now, look at the 1/2-3 turtle on the log. You ever notice a banded water snake? Now, they're a dark snake, and I guess at a glance, if you don't know what you're looking at, I guess they... Alright guys, this little area we're going in right now is very narrow, very shallow. We bump a lot of trees, we hit them, and it's pretty simple. Guys, if you fall out of my boat, you're on your own. You know? Why? Well, I'm supposed to let y'all stand up to begin with. I just can't bring you back to the dock wet, guys. I want up in trouble again. You'll get a real job. Now, this little area in here is what's called Maple Slough. And Maple Slough is actually private land. It was bought by Louisiana Land Conservancy back in the early 80s. The reason they bought this area is because it has a bald eagle's nest on it. Hang on.
Is that a heron?
That's what's called a great blue heron.
Yeah.
Those birds just eat constantly.
It's a real thing. He just wanted to sing with a statue.
Now, we won't get to see that eagle's nest, unfortunately, guys. Like I said, it's set way back towards the middle of the property. Or he'll have a harem of females that live there with him. Usually 12 to 20, depending on how large the area is, how big the male is. Now, in our oxbow, we have a pretty big fellow. We call him Big Al. The old dudes that work with us like to name all the alligators, so they do. Big ball of fun.
What is a lot of... I have here a lot of birds.
And vendors from Asia brought this stuff down to sell to people. They sold it for ponds, water gardens, those large fountains, things like that. But it wound up introduced into the natural waterways via people discarding it or birds transporting it from place to place.
Alligator? No.
No.
It's almost like green water. It's like the green water.
Raccoons, rabbits, squirrels, turkeys, pretty good sized deer population, small bear population, very small puma population, bobcats. Pretty much anything you find in southern North America, you'll also find out here in the swamp. Alright, let's say that's about it this afternoon. But for the most part, about 65% of Honey Island is what you see right here. It's very low line. Now we're pretty much at the end of it. We're at the bottom of the barrel, like you said. Now, I guess if you just wanted the most god-awful lamp in creation, Cypress Knee is a pretty good thing to use. Other than that, guys, I don't see that looking good in any living room. I don't care what color you paint. Amazing enough, I will have people on my tours from time. And that's another one of those way back when stories, guys, before termite contracts were available, all that good stuff. Now, this cypress tree coming up on our right here, guys, is one of the only cypress trees that survived the initial logging 100 years ago. Get on your skin, burrow down inside of you, and kind of make a home in there. And it itches a lot. The more you scratch it, the more the chigger wiggles around. Kind of feels like a little piece of glass wiggling around underneath your skin. Fun fact about chiggers is you don't get them 1 or 2 at a time, not even close. When you get in them, you get them 50 or 100 at a time. They hit your body and spread out all over the place. That's literally a nightmare. Had to be stuffed with horsehair. Cotton simply wasn't available here yet. Synthetics weren't even thought of. So
all those trees in New Orleans, it used to hang out really
as it goes
really
around,
bad.
you'll feel it. It's
Way more
really
than
not
I
that
would.
soft.
What's up, Cat?
Well, Henry Ford had a group of people making this stuff for him down here. And they were in such a rush to fill that first order that they didn't get rid of all the chiggers in this stuff. So, if you bought one of those first Model T Fords, you either got a model with a seat full of chiggers or a seat without any. Which ends up equaling out to a rear end full of chiggers. And well, for those of us who've had them, you know that ain't no fun. That's no fun at all. Never been too good at that name. Now the entrance to Indian Village was pulled off on my left, where the boat launch is today. And it was marked with 2 giant piles of oyster shells. The Indians would paddle their pirogues all the way down to the edge of the Gulf, which is about 9 miles from here. They'd harvest these oysters and paddle back up river with them. Whatever they do, a lot of times, unless you drive a whole lot of pilots, the homes will sink. And that's what's happened to these. Every 8 to 10 years, these people have to come in with big hydraulic jacks, jack the home up, re-level it, re-put it. Good, it doesn't last too long. 8 to 10 years down the line, do the same thing to it. Just like the blue heron, their wading birds, they don't get as big though. They only get about 3 and a half. They do a little stuff deeper and paddle back up. It took them about 6 hours round trip. Now Friday, a fairly smart individual figured there's got to be a better way to do this. When they broke open this side, they quickly realized that this river is a lot higher than the next river over. Now over 100 years have passed and that current's been flowing through there constantly.